and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call to order, roll call, starting on my right.
Councilperson Brent Fire.
Councilperson Dick up to your left.
Mayor Jimmy John King.
Councilperson Craig Anderson.
Councilperson Jeremiah Olgen.
Approval of agenda for tonight. Anything to add from over there?
Shouldn't be anything from staff side of it, except for what we sent you in the email that will just verify some measurements on the maps there.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. Approval of council meeting minutes of the regular meeting of November 13th, 2018.
Move approval.
Motion to approve, do we have a second?
A second.
We have a second, do we have any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. That takes us to finance and budget, accounts payables there, and the additional listings there also. And the additional listing number 2 is there. We got 2, yeah.
Sean, I had a question on that busted dozing and excavating for the retention pond.
Yep.
Is that gonna be about the average cost, or is there more to it than what's there?
It's a good base, but each pond's going to vary a little bit because they're different sizes.
So is that completely cleaned out now, or is there more work that
Yep.
needs to be done?
Nope. That was
That's it? They did it
Completely
all,
done.
or did you guys help?
nope. That was them doing it 100%.
Okay.
They trucked and everything on that one.
Any other questions? Hearing none, we look for a motion to approve.
So
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Takes us to general business, and the first item under general business is approval of 2019 liquor license. The city has received renewal applications for the following liquor license applicants. They have all fulfilled our requirements for compliance check training, and the sheriff's department has signed off on all the applications. And they are the American Legion, the Down Under Bar, the Fairway Spirits and More, Honest Liquor, Riverview Green, Strikers, and Quick Trip Stores, 414 and 803. So the council action requested would be to approve the 2019 liquor license applications as listed above, subject to proper application.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Discussion or questions?
on the American Legion, is that just club on sale for Sunday or?
Club on sale and Sunday.
And Sundays.
Sunday licenses are separate.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Next item will be 2019 cigarette license approvals. We have received the application for the 2019 cigarette license from the following: Casey's General Stores, North and South, Fairway Stores Incorporated, Family Dollar Store, Honest Liquor, and Quick Trip Stores, 414 and 803. Council action requested would be to approve the 2019 cigarette license for the above applicants. Motion?
Make a motion to approve.
A second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Last item under general business will be that email. Just,
Yep.
we need a little consent.
Oh, no, that's not under general
All right.
business. Jenna's gonna bring it up,
Oh, okay, Jen's gonna bring it up later. All right.
or you.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna bring it up. Perfect. That way we don't know. All right, that being said, that takes us to mayor staff consultant reports. Tonight on the mayor's report, the city of Stewartville would like to send their sympathies out to the families of Carrie Combs, Pastor Paul Bittner, Ernest Becky, Robert Buchanan, Ethel Beeson, Linda Nash, Russ Zink, Carter Winchman, and Doug Anderson. Okay, and don't forget, Winterfest is happening this weekend, starts Thursday night. There's been a lot of work put into this. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. We might even get a little bit of snow. And all these events are going to be great for everyone, and we're all going to have a good time if we get there. So everybody try their best to get to all you can. Stewartville Tiger Throwdown is happening Saturday, December 1st. For more info, check into the Star. You know, Dick, if you want to take one of them guys on or something, get in the ring, get in that square circle and show them what to do.
It won't be long.
It won't take you long. We'd like to, and I'd like to send, I really would up to our community a big thank you for the turnout this past weekend at Gene Peters' benefit out there. It was crowded. I mean, I think they had enough, they figured out 500, and I think they had more than that. Gene's been a great volunteer in our community, been a business person, he's been just an all-around good guy in our town here. It was nice to see so many at the Legion with all their support of Gene, so thanks a lot. Don't forget to order your Christmas cookies from the Center for Active Adults. That deadline is December 2nd. And we're glad to see that the Vikings pulled off another big win this weekend over the Packers. And also, who was really especially glad was Councilman Anderson here.
Yes,
because
he was.
he had a big birthday. So we'd like to wish him happy birthday too.
Makes me wish I remember that game.
So congratulations to you, Craig. Another
Thank
year
you.
older. Are you another year wiser than two?
There's a little bit of room for growth yet.
All right, that's it for me. City Administrator's report.
Reports in your packet, and just bring your attention to the end of it with meetings coming up. We have that joint city chamber school meeting next Monday, just from 5:30 to 6:30, and that'll be over at the Civic Center. Chamber's hosting. They just wanted to know if any of you had any agenda items you wanted for group discussion by any of them. If you do think of anything, let me know by like noon tomorrow, because then I'll send that over to them as they're putting the agenda together. There's no meal, but it does count as a special meeting. So,
Oh, shoot.
How many
Good
we
luck
got
out
in
there.
December, by the way?
How many can you make?
I was thinking of Anderson. You need some.
In order to make this weekend right, we need 3 special meetings a day through December. You guys all right with that?
to get it to go.
Well, it was a good birthday.
You have the ability to call. Then the next night, truth and taxation on the proposed budget. And then the following Tuesday, what could be your final meeting of the year. And that's your regular council meeting on the 11th.
Maybe not.
Oh,
The 17th or
we
the 19th.
switch it.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
We can bring that
Up during our
Yeah.
mapping discussion.
up. We may have to have a neighborhood meeting, so we'll talk about that when we
All right.
do this.
Anything else, Bill?
No, that should do her.
Any questions for Bill? All right, thank you. Finance Director, Barb?
Bill mentioned everything I was gonna mention, so we're gonna go.
We're a team.
Just the truth and taxation.
We have a
meeting on
finance
Tuesday
meeting
night.
tomorrow, correct?
And you have a finance meeting at 3:00 tomorrow.
3 o'clock, okay. That's it, Barb?
That's it, thank
Any
you.
other questions for Barb? All right, Public Works Director, Sean?
Nothing new.
Nothing? Any
Christmas
questions?
decorations are up, and
I see that.
I figured you guys had.
Not having issues with them yet because it hasn't rained, I suppose? Or?
It rained and we didn't have any, so we
Yeah.
only have one that's out by House Chevrolet, and that was out when we started. So,
There's 2.
is there 2 out now?
One across the street from that one.
So, okay, they're starting to fall.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for the Public Works Director? All right, thanks, Sean. City Engineers Report.
No report, but just a couple items for next year's CIP project. I've given you a memo last meeting about fifth and just basically how to make a judgment on how to use the right of way and what your options are. And so I'm looking for direction of which way you want to go with it. And then we had also discussed having a neighborhood meeting prior to approving plans and specs so we can get the public's input into the plans before we meet final design, so we can actually incorporate some things or work on it before we get bids. So we need to get that scheduled also. So I guess I'll open it for you guys' discussion or questions.
Okay,
And I was just gonna say, the map that comes the closest to what we kinda gleaned off you from the workshop is the one we're showing you, where it would be parking on one side, narrowing the street, and then the sidewalk and the boulevard. Now, in our case, I think what was starting to come out of it was only doing a 4-foot sidewalk and then a 5-foot boulevard. But we can certainly entertain
does
questions.
the 5-foot boulevard put us back on it, so we don't have that up and down you're talking about?
Yep, the 5-foot boulevard puts it so the sidewalk can be a nice consistent profile. It does put most of our driveways right at maximum. We're really close to that 12%, but we're still within standard. So
So the
Will they end
trick,
up being
the apron,
quite a bit steeper than what some of them are right now?
they might be steeper, yep, than what they currently are, because that's the flatter side.
Are they 8 or 9% to 12 or to 11 something?
Yeah, and we'd be making all of their aprons pretty much right at 12%. So
But we probably still wouldn't have some of the problems we had other years where we're dragging going over them. And wouldn't
We
be that
don't.
steep with it.
yeah, we don't wanna deal with that. So
Right.
then, that's when you go the other way. What we were trying to do for the 3 people on the north side was just give them a speck more storage in their driveways, since that's the
Right.
only storage they get.
Right.
And with the layout you're seeing, taking that foot off of the sidewalk, we can take it off of the north side and not be right on the right-of-way line. And we can shift things south instead of shifting the whole thing north, so.
Is there any way to play with the street
We can,
elevation a little bit to take out some of the steepness, or do you need it for the rest of the
well,
drainage?
the south side of the road is very steep and high, and the north side of the road is
So
flat and low.
Trying to
So
equalize it.
we have to make it fit to both sides of the road.
Right, so we're not gonna, the south side of the road, the steepness of their driveways won't change a lot
They,
by narrowing the road a little bit or moving everything.
so if we have a 5-foot boulevard,
No, I'm talking on the other side. of the road.
on the other side,
The south side.
I think they're gonna stay about the same.
the south side,
No,
they stay
it
about
must
the
be-
same.
Just do.
Yep.
Any other questions for
Just
this?
remove the grid line.
Can we kind of give them our consent to kind of go with?
And what drives the north side's aprons to be steeper is just that distance of the boulevard. We have to keep drainage from the sidewalk to the top of curb. And so in 5 feet, that makes the apron steeper.
So how much difference would it make on the driveway steepness if you gave us, what were we talking, 5-foot boulevard?
4-foot.
4-foot
Yeah.
boulevard or
A
4-foot
four-
sidewalk?
A 4-foot boulevard, we'd be above the standard.
But we're talking about 5, aren't we?
Yep, we're talking about a 5. So
What if we
we-
gave them 6?
if we gave them a 6, they could all be around 10% instead of the 12.
Then why aren't we on 6?
Because you're going further and closer to the house.
Well, what's drawn in front of you is a 5-foot sidewalk with a 6-foot boulevard.
Right, we gave them 6-foot boulevard with a 4-foot sidewalk.
That's an option, and that gives them 1 more foot. We could just bring the sidewalk back a foot too. So,
Which I think is not hurt, but you can't park too close anyway.
No, I know, but it's still not hot back.
I'd like to see this
But they're used to
driveway's gonna get too steep.
Right. That's probably the biggest question we've gotten down through the years, when it's happened.
I don't know if you were gonna notice the 12 inches that much or not. I myself would like the 6 and the 4. What do you
6 and
guys
4.
think? And parking on that side.
I don't see anything wrong with the 6 and 4 myself.
Works with me.
John, what do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
You guys live
If
right
it
up
helps.
I like to hear what the people that live there have to say about it. If they are fine with it, or, I mean, if they're upset that they're
Well, they're
gonna
not
use
gonna be
parking.
fine with it, they're not gonna be fine, well, they got the parking at it. Well, both
Only-
sides can use the parking.
Parking's only gonna be on one side though.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean just. because
Both
we're there.
sides.
Both sides can
You
You
use
can
it.
use it. Yep.
Anybody.
It was just that the south side folks had the bigger, longer, deeper driveways, so we figured they had more storage capacity on site.
gotta give a little, just consent tonight to kind of move forward on this, so that we even present something at the public meeting too.
Yep, and then a couple of neighbors said they'll volunteer their yard where Sean or I or both of us, we can paint some marks in to show you where these tentative marks will be. And then the neighbors can visually see what that kind of means or is. And then we'll obviously bring the mapping to the neighborhood meeting as well.
Yeah, and we're hoping to actually be able to update the map for the neighborhood meeting, so it's showing exactly what you talk about.
And we'd like to have that neighborhood meeting in December, like the 17th or the 19th. That's a Monday or a Wednesday.
Yep.
I think you could do it on Thursday also, I think you said.
Yep, I could do it on Thursday also. We
So-
just need enough time to invite everybody.
Yeah, we
and
have to get
things
invitations
prepared.
out next week.
So,
That's what we're looking for.
So we gotta make that decision.
On what, yes?
Well.
Just give our consent so we can move forward with something. Yeah.
No, I say, meeting.
Oh, yeah.
There'd still be a chance to make a final adjustment if something just totally rocked the boat another way, but this pretty much would present it the way we're hoping it will.
6 and a 4, and parking on one side. That's what I'm proposing. What do you think, Matt?
That's fine.
Rick?
Works for me.
On the south side where it is.
Let's move forward with that then. You got that?
Okay.
all right.
And
The date,
And is there a date that works
what
best?
date works the best for all?
Keep it on Monday.
Monday the 17th, Wednesday the 19th. And then the Civic Center is open, so I checked with that today. So we could have it over there unless you want it here, it's up to you.
Could have it fire hall too, then.
Could have it there too.
Mhm.
Monday night probably wouldn't work at the fire hall. They usually
No,
are this
Monday
night,
wouldn't
Monday
work at
night.
fire hall, but any other night, if we get the crowd we had last time, we might need a fire hall.
Yeah. Either
Need
way.
the fire hoses.
You
Need
just
fire
let us
hoses
know
cool
so we know
down.
where to invite you.
17th and 19th, either one works for me.
Yeah, works for me. Whatever works.
I'll just try to do, I don't have my work calendar with me, so I'll just try to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, either one's fine.
Whatever makes the best sense for you to get the notification out and everything else.
Yeah,
Craig, why don't you email us tomorrow
we'll see.
What works best?
in the
Yep.
morning? Yeah.
I don't know, 7 o'clock at night it'll be? Or what time are they?
We've
You-
traditionally held them a little earlier, but
Earlier, 6:30, 6, whatever? Earlier, that should be fine. I'll look at it and let you know.
Yeah, okay.
Wednesday would work better for me.
Wednesday
I have
works out
something
for you,
else
so
going
that's
on
the
Monday.
19th. Okay.
Okay.
We'll do it on Wednesday and you can just let us know the time. Probably. And then we'll see what Craig's got tomorrow.
I don't know if you guys, what your work schedules are.
Yeah.
You can always know. All right.
That's a special meeting?
Any other, yeah. We're piling up on you, Dick.
good luck out there.
You'll be able to
Is
retire.
that enough direction for you tonight then?
That's enough direction.
All right,
yeah.
great. What else you got for us, Jenna?
And that's what I have for you tonight.
All
Do you have
right.
any questions about any other projects?
Anybody got any questions for Jenna? How's the sod on Bill Street? How's that for a question?
It all got in.
Can we get it froze down so it's not moving around?
It's in,
Get it good and wet so it sticks there for the winter.
right? Yeah.
See what spring brings.
Yep.
Yes, that's exactly what we'll do, is see what spring brings.
All right. Anything else for Jenna? Thank you, Jenna.
Yep.
All right, next is library director report. Is Pat hiding behind the tree?
My report is in your packet this evening, and just a couple of things to update you on the library. We are starting to do preparation for a lot of projects that have to be done at the end of the year, and that'll take us probably about 3 to 4 weeks because we have to pull items and do reports on them. We now have a new delivery, a new courier system through Selco. The new one we have now is Gold Cross, and we're very pleased with them. They come on time and they're very efficient, so we have no problem with this at all. On our webpage, we just put it up to date. We put the Winterfest activities on there so that if people look at our webpage, they can click on the logo for the Stewartville Chamber, and I'll take them over to the Chamber's website where you can look at all of the activities. And that covers what's been happening lately. And, library board did meet last Tuesday, and we just went over with them projects we're working on and things that we are considering for 2019. If you have any questions.
Any questions for Pat? Thank you for a wonderful report, Pat.
Thank you.
Committee, commission, board reports, Chamber of Commerce. Nothing in the packet. EDA, HRA,
Just had a meeting, I'm trying to think if we,
we got one coming up in December, don't we?
EDA,
Scheduled now,
yes.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Finance, tomorrow at 3, library.
Just last year we didn't have
Park board,
We met last week, just, there was only a few of us there. Talked about project status, things like that. I guess. Peoples is working on the lights for the trail out to Bear Cave, and the equipment for Schumann was ordered.
Yep.
So those are the big highlights.
personnel, we'll have a meeting
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Planning and zoning,
Nothing.
public safety. We got, coffee with the deputies.
Yeah, there's a coffee with deputy that's gonna be scheduled for the 20th.
Alright.
Anyone is welcome to to come to that. It's gonna be at Tarsilla's at 7 o'clock and go till about 8:30. Just be an opportunity to come out and talk to some police officers, to include the sheriff, a few other administration, as well as myself will be there.
Alright.
Some other things on the calendar. We have alcohol service training. That's gonna be on the 13th at 9 o'clock at the fire hall. Businesses also now have the option of doing online training, but usually we get a pretty good turnout at that in-person training at fire hall. The Battle of the Badges is still going on, blood drive. If you're, we encourage you to go donate blood at the Mayo Clinic and donate in the sheriff's office name, not RPD. Also, we have Shop with the Cop next month. Sheriff's office will be participating in that. That's at Walmart North on the 8th at 11:30. We are looking for volunteers who want to either donate wrapping paper or bags, or who would like to come and wrap. They can just show up there at that time. Sheriff's Office calls for service, that's in your report. We had 408 calls for service. Top calls were traffic stops, 75, 50 assists, 38 community service, and 49 medicals. Getting into November, we did have a significant increase of some school bus stop arm violations. I want to thank the Star and Grissom for really doing a media blitz, getting out there. They got KIMT to come by and do a report on it. Typically, we see 1 to 2 a month for stop arm violations, but November we had, for some reason, we had 7. Again, if you see those flashing lights, you're going to see amber lights, so they're going to be precautionary. They're going to be set minimal of 100 feet before the stop, and then that stop arm is going to come out with a blinking red light. That's to ensure that all vehicles around should be aware that kids are going to be loading or unloading from the bus. So. We already did have one snowfall, which occurred. Sheriff's Office did issue out a significant amount of citations for that. we want to encourage everyone in town to either come by City Hall or to go on the website, find out information on how you can get on that alert system. As I mentioned, it's a significant violation. It's $84, so help out the city employees, get those calls around, and clean up the streets.
Mike, are they still waiving if it's a first time offense and they go up to the courthouse? Will they waive the first ticket if they sign up for the alert?
No, not to my recognition.
Yeah, they do. The county attorney's office is doing that.
Okay,
Sorry.
that'd be the county attorney's office that would be doing that.
Okay.
The sheriff's office is, we just write the
You raise
tickets, so-
tickets, yeah, okay.
Yes.
So they are, because I've had phone calls on that, and I have told, or an email, and I replied back saying if you went up there, there's a good chance that they will.
Yeah, so what the county attorney's office is doing is if they go up to pay their bill or to contest it, the ticket, they are waiving it, a one-time thing if they sign up for the alert. So they started doing that probably mid-season last year, and I get emails after tons of them. So now we're getting a lot of people signing up for it. So it is a good thing that, it's working well that way. But
And it's only if it's their first time.
Okay. Good.
In addition to that, November 1st, that's the changeover for the parking ordinance, so it's 12 hours, so vehicles need to be moved. Otherwise, would be in violation of the overtime parking there. We did push the public safety meeting into January, the first meeting. So if there's questions, concerns, please talk to one of your council members or myself, and we can delve into it. Looking at some ordinances, any issues throughout town that need addressing. And then lastly, last year I mentioned that 911, you can text into 911. That started in December. Since then, there are 4,000 calls across Minnesota to dispatch, so it's always an option. If you're unable to place a phone call, you can always text them.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Good report. Any questions? All right. Public Works? None. Roll call.
No report.
Transit Advisory Committee?
We'll be meeting tomorrow, actually, so.
Good.
Dan will be in attendance, and then he said he'd give a follow-up report, so.
Communications, you guys, there's a citizens comment letter that I received. They'd like all you to read to, and we have responded to the letter. So I just wanted you to see that some folks do like the sidewalks after they put them in, but there's other questions they had after the meeting. Open mic. City Council welcomes and encourages participation of community members. Please keep in mind that your comments must be pertinent to city business and must adhere to the data privacy rules. No employee's name may be used. Please do not expect action from the council this evening regarding your concerns. We would also request that your comments be limited to 4 minutes. Speakers will be recognized only once. At this time, we would ask that anyone who would like to address the city council, please step up to the podium and state your name and address.
not tonight.
Not tonight. The only comment I got is I saw Jason ringing the bell at Hy-Vee. I think it was Hy-Vee, wasn't it? Good job, Jason.
Nice.
And toy drive, Saturday.
Saturday's toy.
9 to 4.
All
Did you
right.
see that Mayor Brady's wife passed away?
Yes, I
It
did.
is.
I meant to mention that. Yeah, Monday will be the Thursday.
Yeah, because isn't that kind of why he didn't run? It was
Yep,
so
yep.
he could
Just
spend
retired,
time.
yes.
I think we're going Saturday.
So
That's
sad.
Saturday too.
Yep. Bill and I already took our turn.
But that's just my second term.
We're going on
What, third?
third. All right. Leaves one motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
You got a
Second.
motion? You got a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Anyone opposed? Carries. We're adjourned.